Very cold to iPhone swipe the door. All right. You must think I'm dead. Come on. There we go. Well, it's finally here, and it was the biggest purchase decision I have ever made in my entire life. Not just monetarily, but the biggest proof ever that I am completely insane. When I bought this McLaren MP4-12C 2 months ago for a little over $100,000, it was very broken, and it was actually waiting on its third transmission in 2 years. And I had no estimate on when this transmission was going to be done, but I bought it anyway and waited patiently for it to be finished, and now it's done and it's here, and the car is totally worth it, totally, if it weren't for one thing. Now, for those who don't remember the background of this beauty, when I bought it, I didn't intend on buying a broken McLaren at all. It was actually a certified pre-owned McLaren that an individual was selling with the full warranty still intact. And he wanted to have it totally perfect for me when I came to pick it up. And one of the things that he was noticing was the transmission was making a scratching noise when he would shift, especially under hard acceleration. It was also due for its annual service, so he took it in, told him to service the car and look at the transmission just to have everything perfect for me when I came and picked it up. Unfortunately, this noise was internal inside the transmission, and there was no way of fixing it without completely replacing it. The good news is this was covered under warranty, some $27,000, but the bad news is there were no transmissions available in the USA at the time, so I had to wait for one to be built in England. I purchased the car conditional on this repair being made, flew out, looked it over, and then flew back home and waited. But there were some more delays, and they were actually caused by me and this YouTube channel. So when I flew out there, I made a couple of videos on the car, one about buying it. The other one was about all the repairs done on this car for the last 2 years, which it was a lot. And McLaren saw this video, and I guess it raised a few eyebrows. They wanted to make sure that this problem actually happened with the previous owner and that he brought it in for the repair. It didn't happen after he had sold it to me. They wanted to make sure everything was on the up and up, and it took about a week for them to go through and make sure everything was on the up and up. Thankfully, McLaren in North Jersey was super patient through all of this. They went through the process, no problems. I never had to worry about anything. And once they were authorized to make the repair, it went really quick, and they did a great job. This car's home and shifting great. So I'm very thankful for McLaren North Jersey for getting the job done, and it is a beautiful dealership. I would recommend them. It's too bad they're so far away from me for future service. Like I said earlier, I did a video on all the repairs done over this car for the last 2 years, and it totaled over $150,000 if you count this current transmission. This is transmission number 3. The second one was replaced because it was leaking somewhere that was non-repairable, and the techs are very familiar with this car, not just because of the 2 transmissions, but they also did the engine in this car along with several other things that brought this $150,000 total. Obviously, this warranty saved the previous owner a ton of money, and it costs $4,000. It's an annual warranty that you're new. You get 1 year or unlimited miles until the car is 10 years old or has 75,000 miles on it. He was able to transfer the warranty to me, thank goodness, because I wouldn't be able to sleep at night without it, and I will definitely be renewing for as long as I own the car. It's great that McLaren did this with these cars because they were very experimental, very advanced for their time, and they are super finicky. Apparently newer McLarens aren't nearly as quirky as this, but when you drive this car, you can totally understand why it's so finicky, because there's just so much going on, and it is a marvel of engineering. Let's go for a ride. Whew, super cold. Very cold to iPhone swipe the door. All right. You must think I'm dead. Come on. There we go. 2012 is the only year for the doors being like this. I think they put a button after that. Oh, I love this car's peanut butter interior. Oh, so good. And this car is just absolutely perfect for me, not just because it satisfies my automotive masochistic tendencies without the financial burden thanks to that warranty. There is no supercar before this that offers this level of performance, but it's still a usable vehicle that you would want to drive every day. It's great. All these different modes I have in these knobs down here actually do make a difference. For the handling, the aerodynamics, I can set things to track mode, and that turns off the traction control. Same with the powertrain, I can put it to track and have a total crazy supercar, but I'm not gonna do that right now. We're gonna go into normal mode. We're even gonna go into winter mode because it is 31 degrees outside and spitting a little bit of freezing drizzle, and just go for a cruise. Performance-wise, this car is a marvel. Twin turbo V8, putting out over 600 horsepower, setting this thing to 60 in about 3 seconds. Some say a little under, some say a little over, and the quarter mile is somewhere in the 10s, 10.8 seconds. That makes it totally stomp a Ferrari 458, which is what they built this car to do. Style-wise, this car is very conservative for a supercar, and being white makes it even more conservative, but I actually like that. The Ferrari 458 and the Lamborghini Huracan, they are beautiful cars, but this does have a few party tricks over the standard Huracan and 458. I have those crazy butterfly doors, and I have active aerodynamics. With a Huracan, you'd need a Performante, I think, for active aero, and for the Ferrari, you'd have to get the Speciale. And price-wise, this car is way cheaper than a Huracan, about 100 grand cheaper for the oldest Huracan you can get, and about $50,000 less than the cheapest Ferrari 458. So it's the best value of the three by far, if you have the warranty. Big if. Unfortunately, I can't take this car anywhere near its limits, not just because we're on public roads and it would send me straight to jail if I got caught, but also it's super cold, it's wet and pretty slick on the roads right now, but unlike most supercars, I don't mind driving it in this. It feels great. It feels totally fine. This is what I wanted with a supercar. Maybe I'm weird, but I want a car that drives really nice when you're not driving like a total idiot. I could change some knobs to make this thing a total crazy wild animal, but right now, it's so smooth. The dual clutch transmission in automatic mode is so smooth, and the engine is relatively quiet, especially when you're cruising. The seats are insanely comfortable. I drove a Lamborghini Aventador not too long ago, and that car was a total mess to drive normally. It felt great when you were accelerating and driving over 100 miles an hour, but then cruising around a road like this, you're making so much noise, the transmission's banging the shifts, the seat wasn't comfortable, and I'm just so scared, focused, and really paying attention to what I'm doing because the car's so unforgiving. This McLaren, it's easy. The most impressive part of this McLaren has to be the suspension setup. It is so smooth and comfortable, and that's because it's a computer-controlled active hydraulic system. It has no sway bars, it's all computer-controlled. As far as when you're pitching into a turn, it compensates by sending more fluid into the strut, and when you put it in normal mode, it can drive super smooth. That was a big bump right there, and it really wasn't that bad. If I didn't have such low-profile tires, you wouldn't feel it at all. It's almost feels like a luxury car in this normal mode. It's just so smooth and comfortable. I am so impressed by this car. Oh, this thing is just so nice, and I have heated seats and automatic climate control, which is controlled here in the door. The passenger has a couple of knobs as well. So tech-wise, it's pretty impressive, but the best part is this iris system that I gotta pull over and show you. Now, a lot of luxury cars, I think, could take note of this amazing iris system, which isn't giant. It's not a giant iPad glued to the car like so many systems you see nowadays. It's actually really small, but it's oriented in a way like the Tesla, and it's super simple and easy. It's kind of like an iPhone. You have a home button that takes you to a home screen, along with a touch screen here that's linked to your phone. Media sources right there. One button gets you Bluetooth, or a radio. Once again, one button gets you back to the home screen where you can have navigation. And the navigation system is great. Even has apps like a phone where you can Google stuff. I'm going to watch cat videos in my car. 2.8 million views on this video about cats. What in the heck is going on here? Okie dokie. So I got distracted with the cat video a little bit and ran my GoPro out of memory, but overall I am super satisfied with this car and I love it so much. Except the check engine light has now come on. Not even 48 hours and something's broken. It still drives fine though. You just gotta laugh. Oh, or cry. So yeah, the honeymoon on this thing is very short. Thankfully, I have the extended warranty, but the bad news is the closest McLaren repair facility is over 300 miles away. Oh well. It was fun while it lasted. Thank you for watching.